Hey, I'm Nate Savage, and I know that it can be tough to get into strumming at first. You know, it's one thing to just play straight downstroke, quarter notes, strumming patterns like that. That's pretty easy for most of us, but what happens when you get into figuring out the strumming patterns in your favorite songs and having to make up your own strumming patterns on the spot? I am going to share one extremely effective exercise with you to help build the coordination and ability to not only figure out strumming patterns in your favorite songs, but also come up with your own unique strumming patterns when you're jamming with friends. The first step that we need to look at to getting this exercise down is just a regular eighth note strumming pattern that uses alternating down and up strokes. So if you've never done this before, you may need to work on your technique a little bit. You may need to also work on counting out loud a little bit. So if you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, I'm going to cover my strings up and not even worry about my fretting hand here. Just down strokes on the numbers 1 and then up strokes on the ands. And 2 and 3 and 4. That's going to be our foundational strumming pattern for the majority of what we're going to talk about in this lesson. So you need to work on that and get that down. Now here are a couple of technique tips for your downstrokes. When you're playing, don't grip the pick too tightly. If you do, it's going to be really hard to get through the strings. So keep a really light, relaxed grip on it. So when you hit the strings, it kind of gives a little bit, then just glides through the strings. Also, don't lock your wrist and just strum from your elbow. That can be really tough to get through the strings also. It makes you have to create a lot of motion to get through the strings, and it can be tough to keep up with faster tempos too. So don't lock your wrist, get really loose, and pretend like you're just trying to flick something off of your pinky. That's a really good motion to think about when you're strumming. And if you can think about that, that should help you get your downstrokes down, at least the technique for it, in a really efficient way. And you don't even have to use a pick either. You can use just your fingers if you like. But the other half of strumming that some people struggle with is the upstrokes. And there are two things to remember when you're playing with the upstrokes to help you get through the strings a little bit better and make it easier as far as technique. The first thing is you don't have to dig too much of the pick into the strings. A lot of people will dig way too much of the pick into the strings and it will get caught. And they'll kind of lock that wrist and it makes it even tougher to get through. So keep a really relaxed grip and use just enough of the tip of the pick to make the noise on the strings. Second thing for upstrokes is remember you don't have to hit all 6 strings for your upstrokes. You can go with just the top 3 to 5 strings and just get through those. Keep that rotational movement in there. But this is the kind of the skill you need to develop, or the basic technique you need to develop for strumming right away, down, up, while keeping all those strumming techniques in mind. I think 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And staying relaxed. Don't lock your wrist, don't grip the pick too tightly. Think about that flicking motion or rotational movement. So the problem most guitar players face when learning strumming patterns or figuring out strumming patterns is building the coordination to leave out a down or an upstroke to create a new strumming pattern. And this all comes down to something that I call the constant strumming technique. And this can be demonstrated by doing just downstrokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm still making the motion of an upstroke here, but I'm not digging into the strings. I have a constant strumming technique, down, up, but I'm only doing quarter notes with downstrokes, leaving out all the upstrokes. And that's the heart of what we're going to be talking about here, is leaving out any given down or an up out of that, standard 8th note strumming pattern that we started with, this one. 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the idea here, it's a really progressive exercise. The idea here is to leave out the 1, the downstroke on the 1, throughout a measure of strumming. The next measure, leave out the and of 1, the upstroke on the and of 1 for that measure of strumming. The next measure, leave out the 2, the downstroke on the and of 2. Then the next measure, leave out the and of 2 for that upstroke. And I'll show you what I mean here. That may sound confusing, but it's really progressive. It'll make sense. What we're going to do is start developing the control to make whatever strumming pattern you want if it's an 8th note based strumming pattern. So first of all, just play a regular 8th note strumming pattern, but leave out that initial downstroke on the 1. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Do that again. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Do that a few times with a metronome or without a metronome. And then the next little section of this exercise is to, put the 1 back in, the downstroke on 1, put that back in, and then leave out the and of 1. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Next, leave out the downstroke on the number 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and I'm exaggerating that. I'm making a big motion, getting my downstroke out of the way so you can see that I'm not playing. But it'll look like this when you in a real context. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. Then leave out the and of 2, the upstroke on the and of 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And hopefully you're starting to see where this is going. Next, you would leave out the downstroke on 3, and then you would leave out the upstroke on the and of 3, then you would leave out the downstroke on 4, and then the upstroke on the and of 4. And this is going to build your coordination and ability to come up with your own strumming patterns. And you have to be very slow and deliberate about this at first. It may be difficult, but when you practice it very slowly, you're building that skill that you need to come up with any strumming pattern on the fly. Let's go ahead and leave the 3 out, the downstroke on 3. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Leave out the and of 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Leave out the downstroke on 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then finally the and of 4, that upstroke, leave that out. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. And you may have to go through each step, do a couple of measures with it very slowly, and then move on to the next one. But eventually you're going to get to where you can go through the entire series of leaving notes out all in one exercise like this. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you can see from that basic 8-note strumming pattern that we started with, we now have 9 different strumming patterns that we can use and kind of pre-program to pull up anytime we want into some of our favorite songs and things like that. And when you learn little chunks like this, it makes it easier to recall them whenever you need them. And the cool thing about this type of practice is it doesn't take a lot of time in each practice session. Maybe 5 to 10 minutes per day will go a long ways if you're really consistent with this. And if you're more of an intermediate guitar player who's working on 16th note based strumming patterns, the same thing can apply here. It's just on 16th notes, you're going to be counting 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. You can just leave out, the 1 to start with, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Then you can leave out the E of 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Then you can leave out the and of 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And then you can leave out the of 1, 2, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And you can go through the exact same thing, keep it going all the way through all of the counts for 2, the E of 2, the and of 2, the of 2, and just keep going through beats 3 and 4 as well. And that's going to build a lot of coordination for getting your strumming together. And once you start doing this a lot, you're going to be able to hear things like what fits in with certain patterns in a particular song, what fits in with a drummer, what they're playing, or what exact strumming pattern you're hearing in a song that you want to learn. The technique tips and the little exercises we went through in this video will help your strumming a lot, but you do need to go out there and learn some songs. So make a short little list, 2 or 3 songs that you would like to learn, and share them below this video. I'd like to know what you're learning, and I'm sure a lot of other people would like some ideas for what songs they could learn too. Now, if you need some help learning songs, or if you just need some help with strumming or changing chords cleanly, you should check out Acoustic Guitar Made Easy. It's the best way to start learning guitar, and it addresses all of these issues. You can click the link below this video for more details. I'll see you later.